Mr. Sabathia.
Yeah, I like to talk about money. So I've made this presentation to at least two of you before. Foster's present situation in its schools. We can take 100 kids in the schools without one additional dollar of expenses. Each kid brings in $3,000 from the state. So if we built 50 houses, we would get $6,000 from the state. The average taxes in this town now are someplace between $5,000 and $6,000. That's a $12,000 bill times 50 houses with no extra expenses. Now, every time somebody tries to do business in this town, we say no. So now you have an opportunity on one house, an opportunity to make money with no cost. Everybody in town, most people in town, complain about their taxes. Gordon, what's your statement of the amount taxes have gone up in
40%. Our levy has increased 40%.
in how many years?
10 years.
10 years, okay? The average of what taxes should have gone up in 10 years is 7 to 10%. So your taxes have gone up 40% in 10 years, and you will continue to look at those increased costs unless you somehow decide you're either going to bring business to this community or you're going to encourage builders to come to this community and build 50 houses to bring in revenue. So $650,000, you can say no to this house, but at some point, somebody is going to have to take this council and protect the citizens. The citizens are the town of Foster. Not I love Foster, I love the people I live with. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Anyone else on the council?
So by voting in the affirmative, this sends the concerns to the planning board to formulate a
Yes.
letter to DEP.
Yes,
Which would be your concerns about
Run off the wetlands.
right.
Yeah, for
Mr. Dillon,
me-
do you have any concerns?
This is, so I understand this is getting, going to get kicked off to the planning.
Yes. Planning and zoning would be, well, actually, it's the planning department. So if the planning department would formulate with the assistant solicitor a letter with concerns. Do you have any other concerns? There are several that are listed. I don't know if there's any that you wanted to highlight more than others, or I agree with Gordon. My concern was when I heard the DPW was concerned about flooding.
Right, I took
That would be,
Well, what happens when you come and put it, they can still put one in the force, but that water runoff comes down to the street,
right.
and then it's collected on the street. So, and it does, we've had problems in town of that.
Or in that situation, you could wipe the road right out and put it in somebody else's yard.
Right, right. And that, I mean, living on a dirt road myself, I understand.
And that's not nothing that engineering can't correct. It is a concern.
it's done.
But whose dollar is going to pay for that engineering?
No, when they design his driveway and the amount of water coming through, that would be an engineering issue on culvert pipes and where the water goes,
Okay.
retention ponds.
Yep.
I think in the letter, if you read through it, DEM gave certain guidelines to what things that we could
Right,
apply to
yes.
this. So some, there are limitations to what objections we can use.
Yes.
And
That's why I
You
was
can mention
asking.
that as part of it, but it isn't.
There are
it's not
5
in there.
listed. There are 5 listed. And that's why I was asking if anybody else on the council had any other concerns of the 5 that are listed. And Juliana has also listed them. All right, so there has been a motion made and seconded to request the planning board to submit a letter to DEM in the negative of approving this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved. Thank you. Thank you. Moving on now to the monthly reports. we have a monthly report from the planning department.
I make a motion we accept the March monthly planning report. Then the month. Sorry.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to quarterly reports, we have 4 submitted.
Make a motion to accept the 4 reports of the board of canvassers, the library, zoning board of review, and the planning department. Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Moving on to the public hearing. We have a public hearing for a kennel license for a Chihuahua at 3 Shippey Schoolhouse Road, Plat 13, Lot 53, Gale Brook. We have the application here. Anyone here to speak in favor of the applicant? Is the applicant here? Oh, hi, how are you? Would you like to tell us something about your, I know it's a rescue, you have 13 dogs?
Yes, I have 13 dogs. We've been transporting back and forth from Lafayette, Tennessee to Rhode Island. And it's a nonprofit. We've taken any Chihuahua that's going to be dumped somewhere that, you know, nobody wants to take them to the rescue because they claim they have to pay. So that's why I started one in Tennessee. And my dogs are getting kind of old to be kept transporting back and forth. So that's why I was applying for a kennel license to keep them here in Rhode Island.
Okay. Anyone?
I have a question.
Yes.
If Gail were
Could you state your name
My
and
name
address?
is Jennifer Cozen, and I am at 380 Shippey Schoolhouse Road, right next to Gail.
Oh, okay.
My question is, if Gail were to receive this kennel license, how many dogs would she be allowed to have on the property?
She's applying for a license for 13.
And that's all she can have?
That's what's on her application.
My name's Steve Coles, and I'm the next one. That's what's on her application, but if you give her the right to have that, does that allow her to have 30 dogs? If she decides?
No, her
She
application.
could only have 13.
She
So
can have
who
13.
monitor that she only has 13? Or would that just be piled up?
It would be part of the licensing, so the zoning official would go, if there was a complaint, the zoning official would go, count how many dogs there are, and go from there.
Do you have a plan to explain to us how you get rid of that dog waste, or if there was an accident or the death of a dog at that point?
I've been having them cremated.
What about dog waste, daily urination and stuff? What would you do with that? Would that just be disposed up in the yard?
No, it's bagged up and put in the trash.
Is there anyone else that would like to discuss? Yes, could you state your name and address, please?
Joe Barrett, 123 East Killingly Road. I'm subject to waste. Now, urine and ground is not recoverable, I assume, so. There's a large boiling spring very close to her back line, downhill. My concern would be that that spring would be contaminated at some point, and there's a waterway comes out of it, feeds several ponds down the line. My other question would be, 13 dogs, would that mean any breed of dog?
No, they keep dogs.
Yes, I understand, but in the approval would be stated that Chihuahuas only?
We could do that. We
Yes,
could
that would
make
be
it
my
that
main
Chihuahuas
concern.
only.
Denise?
Considering the title of her kennel is a Chihuahua? I Chihuahua. I Chihuahua, then that's, I'm assuming.
That's my number one concern is bringing in any, different breeds of dogs, large dogs, small dogs, but there is one or two larger dogs in this group. that part of your postal shelter?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty hearing.
Yeah.
That she was brought in.
So, like I say, that dog is not a Chihuahua, so where do you stand with that?
Can I say something? Wouldn't she be allowed to have her own personal dog if she wanted, just like any of you would have? But also, I want to ask this of you, do they run loose?
No.
Well, then I don't understand the concern about the water, if they're not running loose.
I'm not so sure what you mean by running loose. They're out in the front yard when you want to be, when you want them to be. We all have dogs. There's no question
Well, I'm
about
sure
people
they have
having
to go out
dogs.
and exercise a little bit occasionally, sure.
Go to the bathroom. Well, that's where the concern would come in. When you take 13 dogs to the bathroom, that's where the concern would come in, and it's the lovely spring in the back. But there's also a noise problem here. You put 13 chihuahuas out front. They're quiet. I have a problem with a dog or two, maybe 3, 4. But 13 dogs?
Correct me if I'm wrong, a requirement in town, and we have a very lax dog ordinance in town.
Absolutely.
You could literally, there are people that have 20, 30, 40 dogs that are their own personal pets, that are registered in the town. And it's, you're not required to get a kennel license. If
My
they're your
understanding
pets.
was the town had a limit of 6 dogs, right?
So, my point is, you can have 50 dogs if they're your personal pets in the town and they're registered as pets. Now, my question on this is, I'm kind of confused why you're going for the ordinance, for the kennel license. If you're breeding, boarding, or selling, you require an ordinance. Are these your personal pets?
Yeah, now, because they're all older
And
dogs.
you're going to keep them and you're going to register them with the town?
Well, if I can't get my license, then I'll have to.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is that they're your personal pets, and they're your dogs. Whether you have 2 or 20, you don't need a kennel license. They're your personal pets. So that was my question. If you board, breed, or sell, it's required to have kennel license in town. If you have 2, 10, 40, or 50 personal pets or dogs, whether they're Chihuahuas, Saint Bernards, or German Shepherds, if you register them and they're pets, an ordinance is not required in this town.
You mean a license, a kennel
Yes,
license?
a kennel license is not required in town. Just what I'm putting out there, so I don't know why you're coming with your personal pets.
Well, but, 8 of them are old dogs,
Yes,
and they're forever there.
that's fine.
And the other ones we're trying to get used to being around people, because they've been abused, and they're not too friendly.
Right.
So are you eventually selling them? Eventually, would you sell them? Is that your goal?
Give them
We
to-
don't sell nothing. We take, if you have a dog and you can't keep it, or you don't want it anymore, and it's a Chihuahua, I take it in.
Okay.
And we work with the dog, and then if it's adoptable,
You give it
you
over.
know, we adopt it up. We make them sign papers that they have to have spayed or neutered, all its shots in a certain period of time. There's no money exchange or nothing.
So can I ask a question?
Yes. Could you just state your name and
I'm
address?
Laura Bangs, and I work at Washington School.
Thanks.
So my question is, so you're running like a nonprofit rescue, and people call you when they have an animal that they find, and they transport it to you, right? So all those dogs that you have, that's rescued animals, nonprofit, so are they all vaccinated and everything?
Oh, we just sit on it.
No, so the rescue that's bringing them to you takes care of all that
No,
first?
I
You do?
Could we take a motion?
Do you have like an agreement with the vet?
I have,
Okay, I'm going to stop now because we're going to close the public hearing at this point.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And,
All right, so I make a motion to table the issue on the kennel license pertaining to a Chihuahua at 3 Shippey Schoolhouse Road, Plat 13, Lot 53.
at this time, so we can do further. Is there a second
Sorry.
discussion?
So the purpose of that, tabling it, is so we can discuss it with her further?
So that we
That needs
can,
to be required.
Well, right, I'm thinking that too.
so we can have further discussion with the applicant as a council.
I'm thinking she,
Well,
maybe,
motion to table is, there's no discussion.
Okay,
So
so,
is your question is why is Gail applying for a kennel license?
we have tabled it, so until further discussion. So, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Moving on. To old business, the natural hazard mitigation appointment of advisory committee. We did have, Paul Kniff is interested in being appointed.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Paul Kneff to the Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan.
I'm sorry,
Excuse me.
could we ask everyone to be quiet? Thank you. Thank you, go ahead.
Motion made to appoint Paul Kneff to the Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan. Second.
Discussion?
Committee.
Gunther?
Nothing against Mr. Kunin as a fire chief, but when a person is saying to me in an engineering board meeting, I don't know why we have an EMA department for, I don't see any use of it, and we don't get anything out of it, I say this person is not qualified to be on the committee that has something to do with EMA, and we don't see, still don't see any sense in the EMA department.
Thank you. Any further discussion? So we have Mr. Kniff to be appointed to the hazard mitigation. It's been seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Is there anyone else that you would consider? We need to have 2 council members. I would like to volunteer to be on that.
I would also like to volunteer to be on it.
Is there anyone else that would like to be on that? And we can have a vote. I know everybody always says, oh, you already got your names, but,
I would.
okay. So we have 3 volunteers. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Denise Franca, Gordon Rogers, and Mike Dillon to the
You
motion.
can only have 2.
You'd have to choose now.
We just did that, I chose one,
Choose two.
Will we vote?
I thought we were just saying that we would, too many, but we're gonna put you anyway.
No,
Because you'd have 3 of your quorum.
Yeah.
we'd have a quorum, so we
That'd be 2.
Gotcha.
can only be 2.
This is not good. I withdraw my motion for the.
You know what? I will withdraw mine and application to be on there, and I
Thank
would
you.
make a motion to appoint Mike and Denise.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, so on, just to recap, on the hazard mitigation, we have the 2 council members, we have the chief, we have Mr. Bay, we have Paul Kniff, we have the planner is going to, would be on it, and the treasurer would be on it. Per recommendation of the previous planner.
Well,
You didn't know that? Yes, Mr. Bay.
The police chief can also not be on the committee, he's not living in the town.
The police chief is appointed by the town to be a
Department head.
member, a department. So he would by default. Thank you, Mr. Bailey.
she doesn't live in town either, she's at the department.
No offense, he counts as in kind service, financially speaking.
Yes. So moving on to the request from the Old Home Days Committee for the townhouse grounds for July 28th, 29th, 30th of 2007.
Make a motion that we accept the request from the Old Home Days Committee for the use of the town grounds for July 28th, 29th, 30th of 2017.
Second.
Discussion. I do note that it says Friday evening for our annual council awards, so keep that in mind. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? moving on to the temporary dog ordinance for the Foster Old Home Days. Yes, this is the first reading, so there will not be a vote tonight. Would somebody like to read it?
I have a cold.
I know, I can
so
tell that.
I'm gonna back away from those.
I will.
Thank you, Mrs. Laws.
Proposed ordinance is ordained by the Town Council of Foster, of the Town of Foster to amend Article 3, Section 8, dogs. Whereas the Town Council as the governing body of the Town of Foster has become aware of the public safety concerns regarding the presence of dogs at the Foster Old Home Days. Whereas the Town Council has exclusive authority to enact such ordinance and regulations necessary to promote the health, welfare, and safety of the public, and that restrictions on the presence of dogs and other pets to preserve and promote public safety and prevent public health hazards that may be associated with the presence of such animals at the Foster Old Home Days. Whereas the Town Council is mindful that certain animals are personal service animals or personal service animals in training to be of assistance to persons with disabilities, and such animals shall be excluded from any such prohibition. Whereas the Town Council endeavors to preserve the aesthetic, cultural, and community event known as the Foster Old Home Days. I think we have a disturbance outside, but I'm not sure. They get louder. And I don't want anybody to get.
Where's our captain?
It's not here tonight.
The captain was
You
supposed to
get louder.
Yeah. The capital is sensitive.
Heidi, Miss Rogers, please sit down. If there's a disturbance out there, you're not going out there.
I know,
Go, Charles.
Back her up. Carol and Heidi are gonna do it. This is gonna be good.
Are you
I don't know, they
doing,
should
Kelly, are you?
send guns.
Thank you.
Want to continue on with the
Yes, continue on with the
Article
reading.
3 dogs, Division 1 General, Section 8-100, Foster Home Days dogs restricted. It shall be unlawful for any person or owner to permit or cause any dog but a licensed leash to be on or along the grounds in a location designated by any Foster Old Home Days during any time which is designated for said event. However, this section shall not apply to seeing eye dogs, assisting the blind or handicapped person, or such other personnel, service dogs, or animals that are controlled by such persons and/or their companions. Effective date: the ordinance shall become effective upon passage, and normal stuff I hereby certify the foregoing ordinance was adopted by the Honorable Town Council with a regularly held meeting, and the date was put yet, and the two signatures required.
Thank you. That was our first reading. Do we have any discussion about that? Could I recognize, yes, Janet, if you would, or Ms. Mooney, if you would like, Don Mooney, if you'd like to discuss this?
I was listening to that. Is there the beginning that states will be enacted during the 3 days of Old Home Day?
Yes. Any further, does anybody want to offer anything on that? From the Old Home Days Committee, excuse me, Mr. Bay, and then I'll recognize you.
Actually, it sounds very well put together as far as service dog. It more or less says any dog that is exempt from just a regular dog brought into the fairground.
I'll actually read you the sentence that pertains to which the first question was. Grounds and locations designated for any Foster Home Days during any time which is designated for the said event.
That covers all our hours.
Yes.
Definitely, because we were always supposed to know dogs allowed, but we had nothing to oversee, no ordinance to back us up, so anyone could freely come in. And there was a concern, the livestock, dogs running amongst the livestock, we had to do something a little bit more, so we asked consideration of an ordinance to help us out on that.
Thank you, Mr. Bay.
There's a right thing to do, I would say, no dogs on the fairground to the side with Foster Home Days. But also theoretically, if the town put an emergency separation plan for the Foster Home Days into place, where this will be in, it's not their own dogs, it will be also, for example, a no-fly zone for drones. There will come and more people who are using them. Then somebody losing control of the drone is also a great risk, and a lot of other things. So theoretically, for the next years of homemaking, maybe we should think about this one. Plus, we put an emergency operation plan together in general, when these things are in.
Well,
And
that-
can be carried on.
Certainly something to consider for the future, thank you. Any other discussion about the temporary dog ordinance? Okay, so that was our first reading. At our next council meeting, we will be taking a vote. Thank you. Moving on to the appointment of a town planner. We discussed that at the beginning of our session when we came out of the executive session. So we're going on to the review of rental policy for town property. Within your packet, you have what is being proposed.
This was floating out there.
Yes.
On and off for a very long time, I
Yes.
remember last week.
Yes, it has been out there. It has led to quite a few discussions.
I have a comment.
Yes.
My one concern is we're trying to preserve.
Make a motion to
Oh, good idea.
approve the application.
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Cheryl.
We're trying to preserve this building, and I know that there is an application for a Halloween party, and that includes probably decorations and things. So should in this be something that's, I mean, I can see the eyeballs rolling back, but should something be in here, like no tax or the table, the way they put up it, just to preserve the painting and the, because when you start sticking in these old things, I don't know what's gonna happen. I can see it.
Take only.
Take only. Well, I know they did use it for bright nights.
Alteration of any kind.
Put the new decorations.
Do you think that takes care of it? Do you think that takes care of it?
Alterations. That, with that addition, you can add something to it.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
No, I agree. So it does say equipment and decorations within the pamphlet itself. Any equipment brought to any town facility shall be approved at the time of application. Trampolines or inflatables. Decorations will be reviewed by the town clerk and the fire chief as applicable.
You also have insurance requirement of a minimum of $1 million in liability, which will cover any damages.
Just want to make sure we're clear on
With that,
preserving the integrity of the building.
She might have, I think she has a valid point.
I agree.
We only have, there's only one building, well, there's only one building concerned with, and that's this one. The Woody, you know, obviously that,
Yes,
I'm
right,
sure that would be
right.
permitted. So if it's just specified, you just make a
note.
Well, it does say decorations will be reviewed by the town clerk and the fire chief. So I'm sure the town clerk would be able to say, no, you can't tack that up there.
Well,
Or no.
maybe we just put that in there.
That's not bad because of the historic nature of the.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
What are you trying to get at?
Because of the historic.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get you to make an amendment.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to make an amendment and add
Excuse
to.
Mr. Franco,
One moment, please. We're in the middle of an amendment.
well, I know I'm trying to help you out, so you don't have to waste a lot of time.
I bet Ms. Laws is going to be able to do it. Go ahead, Ms. Laws.
I'd like to make an amendment to add to the alterations that any decorations be approved by the town clerk
Specific.
to, any decorations that are specific to the town hall.
Townhouse.
Should be approved by our town clerk.
Second.
And that would be the townhouse. Okay. Any further discussion on that? Does it meet your approval, Mr.
No, it
Scott?
doesn't, because all you have to say is, any direct decorations can only be applied with painter's masking tape. And then you don't have the clerk reading whatever the hell she has to read. because painter's masking tape doesn't stick to paint, see?
Thank you.
Yeah, does it stick to other stuff?
It sticks to paint.
I believe there's something else that may have to be on, still within the clearance of the town
Right.
board, so.
So I think it's just covered by that. Yes.
Can you put maybe Preservation Society, somebody overseeing it?
Well, I think the town clerk would be sufficient. If she has any questions, she would.
The application has to go to
Yeah.
the town board.
Right, it has to go through the town clerk, so. Me.
So I just think you got
Yeah.
to do it.
Okay, so we had an amendment to the main motion. All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed? Going back to the main motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Mrs. Dillon, did you get that amendment?
Yes, I got the amendment.
Great. Moving on to the request from the libraries for the townhouse and fairgrounds on October 28th.
I make a motion, we accept the request from the libraries, of course, to use the townhouse and fairgrounds on October 28th for a Halloween event.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, they need to fill out the new.
They do have the new agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to the request from the Trailblazers 4-H Club.
I make a motion, we accept, all right, so it's going to request for the Trailblazers Club to host a rabbit show on Fairgrounds Saturday, the 3rd of June, 2017.
Second.
Discussion. Is it available, Mrs. Dillon?
Yes.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to the Eagle Scout project at Woody Loudon. We have an email from Alan Rutcher. Is Alan here tonight? No? Okay, I will read it to save Mr. Rogers. Good evening, Ms. Dillon. My name is Alan Rutcher. I am a member of Troop 101, Foster, Rhode Island. I have lived in Foster for my entire life and have recently started to work on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest and most honorable rank able to be achieved in Boy Scouts. One of the requirements is to reach this rank while a Life Scout, my current rank, plan, develop, and give leadership to others in a service project helpful to any religious institution, any school, or your community. A project's proposal must be approved by the organization benefiting from the effort. In this case, it would be the town of Foster, the Woody Loudon Recreation Center, as well as the Foster Recreation community as a whole. Last month, on April 17, 2017, I spoke with Bob Falcon about the plan for my project, and he said it sounded great, but I should email you regarding the project to further the process of getting it approved. I plan to carry out my Eagle Scout project at the Woody Loudon Recreation Center located at 16 Howard Hill Road, Foster, Rhode Island. For my project, I plan on renovating a small area to the left side of the Woody Loudon building. To the left of the building, there is a small area in which there is a carport-like structure, which was built as more of an outdoor shelter. To the right of this structure, there is a small fire pit with 3 basic benches around it. My troop, Troop 101 Foster, has held their weekly troop meetings at the Woody Loudon for years. The building, in fact, was named in honor of our past Scoutmaster of the troop, Woody Loudon. I have been involved with scouting and Troop 101 since early 2010. And since joining, I have noticed that although the shelter has stood strong over the years, the fire pit and benches have slowly started to deteriorate and fall apart, and the various weeds and plants from the nearby woods have grown closer and closer and are now starting to overgrow the area. For my Eagle Scout project, I plan to build a large picnic table for inside the shelter, as there has never been a use or purpose for the structure. as mentioned in the fire pit, as well as the benches, possibly even lay some crushed stone or gravel around the pit and benches, not only to increase the life of the new pit and benches, but also to make the area more safe to have a fire in, and also prevent rain from causing the area to turn into a large mud pit. I would also like to cut back the surrounding brush from the woods to stop it from growing into the area yet again for quite a long time, as well as clean up all the weeds and plants that have grown into the area. Overall, my goal for the project is to make the area more useful and to give it a bigger purpose, and also to make the area more visually appealing so people will want to use it as well as feel safe using it once again. Lastly, I would like to hang up a plaque of some sort stating that my project was done in memory of past troop leader Frank Bouchard. Frank was one of our longtime adult leaders and recently passed away after living and fighting cystic fibrosis for just about his whole life. This project, once completed, will not only benefit my troop during its meeting and occasional camp out at Woody Loudon Recreation Center, but would also benefit the community as a whole and all the various people, teams, groups, and organizations that use the building and the property on a regular basis. I am writing this email in hopes of getting the approval of you as well as the town of Foster to carry out my project and to continue working on reaching the rank of Eagle Scout. Thank you in advance for any help you can provide me.
I don't know if it needs a motion, but I will formulate one that I will make a motion that we welcome him in his endeavor to move this project forward with Love Center.
Second.
Have blessings.
Cheryl, you seconded it? Yes. Yes, I think that's,
It's quite an
it really is.
And I think it's great.
Yep, I think that is, so, yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Mr. Dillon, you let the young man know? Thank you. Any future agenda items? I do have the temporary dog ordinance and the financial statements and standard policies and procedures for non-town entities receiving appropriation and zero waste presentation by Christine Brown.
Just one quick question on, you know when Chris Brown's been, Christine,
She's waiting for someone to be appointed, so it might be,
and on the 1A, that's been on there for a while.
it has.
We need to, what's,
I would like to get that done. I wanted it
Yes.
done before
yeah,
the budget, but I would like to see it move forward.
yep, absolutely.
So, I'm not sure it'll be done for the next meeting, but I will shoot for the following meeting. Anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, thank you.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you.